Hello, Service Learning District staff. This video is going to go over the lesson plan template that we will be using going forward in the 2018-2019 school year. As you can see, there are several different templates available to you, so let me go through them. The first thing that you need to look at is the lesson plan due dates and requirements document. This document tells you when your lesson plans are due. So the first set of lesson plans, so the lesson plans for the week of September 4th and into that next week of September 14th are due Sunday, September 4th. Below the due dates is a brief list of requirements for your lesson plans. The most important one that I'm going to go over with you right now is the first bullet point, which is that lesson plans are to be submitted to your building instructional coach via email on or before the dates listed above. And you are welcome to go through the rest of the requirements on your own. When looking at the template, there are several different options. First, there is a self-contained lesson plan template. These are for teachers who teach all subjects during the day. There is also a dual subject math and science lesson plan for the teachers at our Redford building that teach just math and science, a dual subject ELA and social studies lesson plan for the Redford building for the teachers who have that situation. We have a single subject, single grade lesson plan. So for example, if you are a 5th grade teacher and the only class you teach is social studies, this is the lesson plan template that you would use. There is a single subject 2 grade lesson plan template. So this would be for the teachers who, for example, are a 7th grade math teacher and also an 8th grade. And in addition to that, there is also a lesson plan template for the specials teachers. Most of these lesson plan templates are very similar. So I'm going to go through the self-contained lesson plan template with you in this video. So in order to complete this lesson plan template, you need to open it and click this download button. Once you download it, you need to open it and click Enable Editing. To get started, you'll need to put your name in the Your Name box, your grade level here, and the weeks that these lesson plans are for. As a rule of thumb, if the box is shaded, you should be typing something into that box. There are also links on this template to your standards. So, for example, if you were writing a reading lesson plan, you would click this link, you would push a control on your keyboard and click the link, and it will take you directly to the English Language Arts standards. And you would actually copy and paste your standard into the template. So I'm going to use a grade 1 standard as an example. So you will actually highlight the standard, click copy, go back to your template, and you'll paste it in. When you right-click to paste, my recommendation would be to click the Keep Text Only button. That way you're not going to add in a completely different size font. So Keep Text Only, and then you would fill out the rest of your lesson sequence for the week. I would recommend listing 1 or 2 objectives per week so that you are focused on what it is that you're trying to assess for your students during that week. Lesson sequence is where you're going to give a very brief description of what it is that you plan to do for that day. It should be bullet points or a list. This does not need to be a narrative here. For your assessment, it says formative or summative. So I just need to know how you plan to assess your students that day. Are you giving a quiz? Are you going to be questioning students? Are students going to be doing some sort of think, pair, share activity where you are assessing their responses? And then resources and links. This is where you can list the page numbers from your text, put links to any websites, or list any other resources from your classroom that you plan to use. The way this template is designed is so you can actually open up this template each day and see what it is that you plan to do. So if you are a self-contained teacher, you would do the same for reading and all your other subjects. For each 2-week period in each subject, you need to tell your instructional coach about your plans for differentiation. So here we need a brief description or a list of things that you plan to do to support your students who are struggling to learn the material. But then we also need a brief description or a list of things that you plan to do to push your advanced learners forward in their journey of learning. In this section down here, we need to know about your technology integration. So this could be a list or some bullet points of how you plan to integrate technology within that 2-week period, and then your plans for small group instruction. So this just needs to be a brief description of how you plan to engage either small groups or individual students so that you can assess them more closely. Let's take a look at some of the other lesson plans now that you know how to complete the self-contained lesson plan template. If we look at a single subject or dual subject lesson plan template, the links to the standards are here. Remember, you are required to actually click the link and go to the standards documents and copy and paste the standards directly into your lesson plan template. So that's how to complete this lesson plan template. If you have any questions beyond what I showed you in this tutorial, or you need a more in-depth explanation, my recommendation would be to go to your building instructional coach and ask them to walk you through how to use this template. Have a wonderful school year.